Today we're gonna be testing drive modes of my Hellcat. So I have the red key, which I usually use on weekends. Otherwise the gas economy is basically same as from an Abrams tank, but it's okay, we can afford it. So that's how it starts, with the Hellcat logo over there. And for now I have 1375 clicks, 1375, so it's pretty much brand new 2022. And so we have to go here into this you see I had echo. So basically one cool thing about using the red key, like if I don't need the entire 717 horsepower, I can go into this echo mode. See, it's 717, but if you click this button here, echo, it gives you echo power and echo transmission, and pedal shifters are off, right? So that's one way to do it. But if you don't, and what's interesting is that if you activate this, and you see it says red key, if you activate this echo mode, it stays on even when you shut down the car. So when you start the car on the next day, it'll be the echo mode, which is you know, symbolized by these drops. And also here you have a drop right above P for parking, so that tells you that you are in echo mode. But if you turn it off, that's the auto, that's how it starts, right? So transmission and street, full power, traction, street, and then of course you can go custom, where you can change everything, custom setup. And then sport is already set up, everything is sport, pedal shift is on, full power, and track, everything is in track. And so today I'm gonna test, just gonna find a quiet road. I'm gonna test the difference between sport and track and see which one. For now we're gonna go into echo. I want to go and see which one feels faster and maybe more comfortable, because I tried track before and it really was not very good. It's really for a very smooth surface, because the suspension becomes very rough, because I'm guessing the computer thinks you're driving at 300 miles an hour, and it really not, you know, comfortable for regular driving, especially when you have some potholes, you know. It's like but we're gonna find a quiet road and go see what we can do, how these modes compare. So I mostly drive like this, auto, with full power with the red key, or I use echo with the black key, and then the power is reduced to 500 horsepower. So basically just for better fuel economy, because this car, you know, if of course nobody buys this car for fuel economy, but it just, you know, it's full tank. If I drive in the city, I probably get like 300 clicks, which is less than 200 miles, you know, especially if I start pushing it in, you know, zooming, you know, vrooming. So that's why most of the time you just drive it in with the black key in the echo mode, and then let's say a couple of times a week on the weekend you get your red key out and you can go, you know, let out some steam. Okay, I'm on location. See some cute ducks in here, lots of small ducks in the pond, but I didn't bring my camera with me. Okay, so we're switching to full power, sport mode. So sport suspension is on, stability control is off. It always like that, but so I can traction, I can see I can do sport setup over here, but for now we are in sport mode. And so pedal shifters are enabled. Actually, wait a second, I need the where's dashboard? Yeah, over here, performance pages. Yeah, I like seeing that horsepower and torque. And I changed the central screen to fuel economy. Okay, so yeah, that's the horsepower, that's the boost. Oh, horsepower is at the bottom here. That's the red Red color, orange is boost, and blue is, red is horsepower, orange is torque, and blue is boost. But I gotta go to the top of the hill here. Okay, and I'm switching to drive, and then I'm pushing this to M, so I can use these, or I can actually use the shifter. It's only like 3 inches of boost. So this is sport mode, so the suspension still feels pretty doable, you know, pretty functional. So I'm in 4th gear. It shows me what gear I'm at. It says M for manual 4. So 3000 RPM. Jerks a little bit when I was shifting. Not sure why, but didn't shift very smoothly. Okay, let's see what it does with automatic. Okay, let's shift into drive. So I can still use these, but I want to see how the transmission performs by itself. Actually, yeah, it's better. So once again, the computer is smarter than a driver. That's why they're saying when you go to a track, a car with an automatic transmission, like a modern car, will beat a car with a manual transmission, because a human cannot shift as fast as a computer. Like maybe years ago, right? All those NASCAR, they all had manual transmissions. But nowadays, I'm pretty sure they have something like semi-manual. I don't think they have a clutch. They just have the same like pedals here, and they just put it into manual, like kind of like semi-manual, right? That's the sports mode. I like it. Let's find a good spot where we can, because I see on Google Maps there's there's a light in there, and there's construction. So yeah, basically forget manual. It's basically for little girls, you know. The mountains look pretty good today, so I'm going south. So BC mountains are to my right, which is west. And of course in sport mode, because it gives you sport steering, it becomes a bit firmer, but still pretty good. I think, yeah, up ahead we have some construction, and there's some houses in there. Not a good area, but we'll just going for a drive. And basically the point of this expedition is also that I decided, you know, I was again it's the weekend, right? So I always search on the weekend, what can I do with my camera? You know, maybe go do some photography, right? Because normally I don't do that during the week because, you know, I have to be at my computer trying to do some freight broker deals, right? But on the weekend, I always search what to do in Calgary this weekend. And I searched, and there's a couple of hiking tours in the mountains, so you have to drive 1 hour that way, and there's a guide which will guide you through the trails. Oh, that's a cute little pickup. But it's all sold out. Like a friend of mine told me, he says, yeah, in this, when the weather is like this, it's super difficult to get a guided you know, tour, like a hiking tour. Because I thought, hey, I'm gonna grab my camera, you know, like, because the guy in the description to that, he was saying good views, you know, amazing views from the top of the mountain once we get there. And I thought, hey, you know, I can go and do some fitness training, and also I can do some photography, right? And then it says how to buy tickets. Buy tickets. The guy has his four-way flashes on for some reason, drives at 60 clicks an hour. All right, yeah, I see a light in the distance. I'm still in sport mode. Oh, and there's a railroad crossing. That might be rough. And so, yeah, I click on tickets, sold out. And I remembered again, a friend told me that actually you don't need these guides, right? Because there's you can go online, what is called albertaparks.ca, and you can find all these maps, right? And they tell you what the difficulty level is. Like, I wouldn't want to do like hard, you know, where you climbing 20 kilometers one way at 60%, you know, incline, but something like either moderate or easy where there's good views, right? And so, and then I thought, hey, might as well just go to a park, you know, the multiple parks inside the city line where you can see wildlife. And of course I'm trying to sell my Z9, but I still have it, and if I add, you know, 10-20 pictures to it.
600 meters, turn left onto Trans-Canada Highway, Alberta 1 East.
So wait a second, so when are we gonna test the track mode? This is already Trans-Canada. Interesting.
Turn left onto Trans-Canada Highway, Alberta 1 East.
Oh, okay, maybe that's where we can. While waiting for the green light, I'm gonna go into park and go back into SRT dashboard, and I'm gonna switch to track. Drive mode's track. Everything is red. Track, transmission is in track, traction is in track, suspension in track. Man. Okay, we'll go back to the same performance pages so we can see the horsepower. Yeah, again, so horsepower is red on the outside circle. The next circle in is torque, yellow, and the one in the middle is inches of height. I'm guessing it's in water, you know, the way they measure. And right away I can feel, man, it feels like
Alberta 1 East for 9 kilometers.
yeah, it shifts a bit rough again, I don't know, and the suspension is very rough. It's like I have no suspension right now. That's what it feels like. I really so yeah, this is really for, you know, one of those tracks with zero potholes and no cracks, because here, yeah, I could feel every crack in the pavement. going 7. Oh, okay, that's maybe we're gonna do the test in 7 kilometers, 7 clicks. I'm turning on some range road. All right, I just want to see higher speed limit than 80 kilometers an hour. Like, what kind of a Trans-Canada highway is this? Like, if you drive at 80 kilometers an hour, it'll take you 2 months to cross Canada. Now, what is this? This is some kind of a, check this out, some kind of a racetrack or something here? No, this is storage. Bluebird self-storage. Okay, so this guy turning right, and now we have the speed limit is 110. Yeah, so now we're gonna do a curve in here. And this is already, yeah, Chestermere, access 2 clicks, and that's where I'm going. So yeah, so I decided that I want to go tomorrow to one of the parks. And my first I wanted to go to one closer to the airport, and then I remembered I really like the park called Car Burn. Like, you know, you burn your car, Car Burn. Car Burn Park. No idea why it's called like that, very weird name. But it's a very nice park. I saw deer, I saw either an eagle or an osprey. Okay, and I think I'm turning right. And so I decided I need to get a bike, you know, because I've been thinking about this for many times. I had this desire to get a bike, but it's pretty far. Like that park, Carburn Park, it's 22 kilometers. Like, you, in theory, you can go in a bike. Okay, just to try it out. But yeah, I think in sport mode it shifts a bit better. And I'm a bit early. The guy is expecting me at 1 o'clock. So basically, yeah, I went on Facebook Marketplace, and there's a lot of bikes in there. And I was specifically looking for a folding bike. And I had quite a few of them. I owned, back in the day when I lived in the Soviet Union, I had a Kama. K-A-M-A, Kama. It was a pretty famous brand. They made regular bikes for adults, and they also made bikes like a folding bikes. And that one, I'm pretty sure it had 16-inch wheels. It was single speed, but it was super reliable, a bit heavy. But I rode that one like 40 kilometers one way, like when I was taking a course to be a railroad, you know, porter for long distance trains. I rode from Kirovograd, where my parents lived, to Znamenka, in a town 40 kilometers away. You know, it took me 2 hours on that folding bike.
Turn right onto East Merganser Drive.
But it was okay.
Continue for 2 kilometers.
Yeah, but man, I'm early. Maybe I'll find maybe a coffee shop or something.
Turn right onto Marina Drive, then turn left.
Got you. So it's somewhere, yeah, this is, they have this nice area over here with all the stores. Okay, where's... And then turn left again. Oh, Starbucks. Okay, gotcha.
Your destination is on the left.
Are you gonna drive on the right side of the road? Always back in, boys and girls. Much safer this way. Okay, so let's go grab coffee, and then it's already time actually to head back. So we'll see more of the beautiful Chestermere, Alberta. Stay tuned. Switches to auto. You see this? Okay, we'll leave it in auto for now. So auto is street, 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 street. Transmission street, traction street. That's like the most pleasant one. So now let's just, we have to go back to the other side of the lake. So I got my tall Americano upside down. We are good to go. 10 minutes to 1. Which way are we going? I think there's no exit over there. Oh, check this out. Wow, it's like a Ferrari or something. There's Anytime Fitness, and some cool dude came over. See, like, this is nice, you know? So we do have rich people over here. Not just people like me who borrowed money to buy a car. Okay, which way?
Turn right onto Marina Drive, then turn left onto Chestermere Boulevard.
I think we go this way.
Turn left onto Chestermere Boulevard.
So yeah, we do have, you know, cool cars that, you know, people store them in winter, right? I remember one guy in Cambridge, you know, that my favorite Starbucks in there at 525 Hespeler Road, Cambridge, Ontario. When the weather was good in the summer, there was this guy showing up. I think it was a Viper. You know, it was like a...
Continue on Chestermere Boulevard for 1 kilometer.
It was like a, you know, awesome car with the open. It was with the open top. And this guy, you know, you could see that he was dressed nice in a suit, and he would just come over and sit at a table, you know, sipping his cappuccino or espresso and playing with his phone. Actually, yeah, I noticed that in the recent years, fewer and fewer people are using laptops. When you know, you go inside the Starbucks, and the only people that use laptops anymore are kids. You know, students.
In 500 meters, turn right onto East Chestermere Drive.
But regular folks, they're just sitting there squinting in their tiny, you know, 7-inch or 6-inch screen. I always prefer a laptop, you know.
Turn right onto East Chestermere Drive. Continue on East Chestermere Drive for 1.5 kilometers.
40 clicks an hour again. Yeah, this route would not work if I was driving my semi-truck, because the sign said no trucks. No, because I'm guessing it's a residential area. They have a playground over here. And now we have to go through the same construction zone with that super long red light. And I already found the road where we'll go after this. So we'll keep it as one video. Maybe I publish it as a premiere. If you guys have any questions about the car, you know, I can answer questions in real time. But yeah, I didn't like very much how when I was shifting myself with paddle shifters and sport mode, I didn't like it how it was jerking a little bit. I'm guessing, you know, maybe I didn't choose the correct RPM. Maybe it was because when it's jerking, that means that either you over revved, kind of like when, you know, in a semi truck, right? Either your RPM was too high in the previous gear, so you are over accelerated, or you under accelerated. But I'm thinking this failed because this is a 8-speed transmission. It probably should you should probably you know, shift it sooner. But I don't remember these, you know, jerks when I had the Dodge Charger, because I had the same setup on Dodge Charger with 5.7 liter engine. It was automatic, but I could shift the shifter to the left into manual mode, and then I had pedals here. And I don't remember, well, of course that one was, you know, 380 horsepower. This is 717. So, you know, you gotta be careful.
In 400 meters, turn right to stay on East Chestermere Drive.
And I'm still only at 1409 clicks. I need to be, was it, they said 2400 in order to do racing. So I'm not, that's why when I'm
turn
not
right to stay on East Chestermere Drive.
I'm not applying full power, because it's I don't think it's good for the car, like, you know, for racing.
Continue on East Chestermere Drive for 1 kilometer.
So yeah, the bike should be in good condition. I like the pictures and the fact that it's folding bike, so I can put it in the trunk. And the plan is tomorrow to pack it up and go to the Carburn Park, and then, you know, grab my camera again, since it's still not sold, and instead of walking near the water, I'll be biking, because I have a nice case I can put my camera in, and I'll be biking and looking for wildlife. Okay, I need like, man, the houses over here. Like, that's the real money. And of course they all borrowed. Okay, 678. Oh, so it's gonna be on this side. Okay.
In 200 meters, your destination will be on the left.
Somewhere here. Okay, I'm gonna stop the camera and we'll continue once I go on that road. We'll continue testing the track mode and see if I can make the shifting smoother.
Your destination is on the left.
Is it here? 788. go right in there. Oh, I see the bike. I see the bike. It's called Jetson bike.
Head northeast on East Chestermere Drive toward Lakeview Rise.
Okay, so the deal is done. This guy John is a very nice gentleman, and he says, I said, yeah, because his ad said 2019. I said, so you had
Head
it
southwest on East Chestermere Drive toward Colton Court.
So I said, you had it since 2019? And he says, no, a lady down the street, he said, she had this and she stopped using it. And so he says, I fix bikes for a living, so she gave it to me, I fixed it up. Everything looks good on the bike except like the rear sprocket, like the rear gear, you know, the rear wheel.
Head northeast on East Chestermere Drive toward Lakeview Rise. Continue on East Chestermere Drive for 1 kilometer.
Has a bit of a luft, as we call in Russian, or free play. And I ask him, and he says, well, and I know those things in there, it's very, because there's a couple of counter like working nuts, so it's very easy to either under tighten or over tighten, and I don't want to mess with them, so it's a bit too much free play to my liking on the rear wheel, but because of that the wheel actually spins effortlessly, you know. Okay, I want to try this road here. Once we get back, instead of taking Highway 1, we're gonna take one of the local highways, like paved highways. And yeah, I had some actually trouble, believe it or not, you know.
In 300 meters, continue straight onto East Merganser Drive.
This is 24-inch wheels, right? And that's the major reason I bought it, because it's more comfortable, but it doesn't want to fit in, like the guy says, don't do anything with the steering wheel, with the steering bar, just leave it like that. I tried that.
Continue straight onto East Merganser Drive.
Just basically folded the bike, and the steering bar was sticking out, so I had to unscrew one quick bolt. Like there's a handle in there, you unscrew one handle, like very, you know, kind of like quick.
Continue on East Merganser Drive for 800 meters.
Like quick action. Where are we going here? I'm going straight. So look how much land these guys have, like around each house. That means that either A, these people are filthy rich, or B, land is pretty cheap here. I'm always paying attention, you know, like, are houses like this, or are they spread out? Like, look here, you can run a horse riding academy. Because that one going straight, there is a road, but it's dirt. I can see it from here. It's not good. We're not going on a dirt road.
Turn left onto Inverlake Road, Township Road 244.
But the next one, so this is north. Yeah, I just need to find a road like this, but you see, like, this is dirt. Here it's pavement.
Continue for 8 kilometers.
test is complete. Man, so much power, it's unbelievable. Like, it's pushing you into the seat. Okay, let's just stop here for a second. I'm gonna switch to sport mode. Otherwise I won't have enough gas to get home. Okay, we're going to sport mode. Okay, and I wanted to show you guys the bike. So this is the bike. So it's called Jetson. Jetson, pretty good seat. See, everything folds, but again, just sticks out a little bit. Like, if I could reduce the height of this pole, it would fit in. But then I have to mess with these, you know, nuts all the time. I don't want that. But yeah, it's pretty, you know, I bought a couple of carpets at the Dollarama store, and this kind of like protects my trunk in case, you know, when I ride on the dirt. Of course, I'm not gonna ride this, but very nice tires, you know, pretty much new. And these are wide tires, very comfortable. So I like this. A few scratches here and there, but all in all, a very nice bike, I think. So you see, pretty much full, almost full size, right? 24-inch wheels. Okay, so we're in sport mode. My favorite by far. Now we can just go into SRT pages and switch to, well, it should be already in my favorite mode. Yeah, this one, which shows the horsepower and torque. Oh, and also one thing I noticed with performance, you know, when I had the Dodge Challenger 392, so 485 horsepower, lots of torque, but that one I had all-season tires, and I remember I had a problem getting traction, and so I switched to bigger size, like a wider tire, which helped a little bit, but not by much. But also that wider tire was half an inch lower. And because I don't know if you saw those videos, but I installed long tube headers. And the long tube headers, of course, stick out underneath, right? And then I put on those lower tires, and the car really became, you know, too low. Like, quite a few times I would go, let's say, inside a parking lot of a restaurant, and I had to be super careful watching those, you know, transitions from the road to the parking lot. So this one, I can tell you guys that these tires, they grab so much better than all-season tires. These are my first, this is the first time I have performance summer tires on a car, and I was afraid that, because this is not a wide body, right, so the rear tires are not 315 like what they are on the wide body, but still I haven't had yet any traction issues, you know, even with full power. And there's so much more power here than on Challenger 392. So super nice. These Pirellis, they were definitely worth $600 Canadian. That's the charge for this option.